Welcome traders, you're listening to Mike Hamilton from Trade the Easy Way, and we look as if we are heading for a very interesting week. Now, I've deliberately delayed this video because we just wanted to wait and see if there was anything else coming out of the press. And here we are at 7 PM UK time, British summer time, and the Greek banks are shut on Monday. So, it doesn't take a genius to suggest that we are heading for a lot of volatility. So I just want to talk to you about how to prepare for a week like this. The first thing I would say to you is that quite often the biggest moves are not the initial moves. So don't feel you have to jump into this market. Secondly, I would suggest that with increased volatility, you should reduce your position size, not increasing it, and not even use your normal standard position size. I would suggest you drop down to half sizes. Another point is one way in which you can determine potential moves is just to look at the Sunday open. Now, last Sunday on the DAX, you're currently looking at the Chinese index, and I'll go into this in a bit more detail, but last Sunday on DAX, for example, we gapped up very heavily and we moved I think 120 points above the gap even before the German market opened on Monday. So we saw a lot of extreme volatility last Monday, and that gap has still not been filled. And I said on Friday afternoon in the room, I think the DAX rally is a fake, and next week we will see 10,500. So I'll come on to that a little later on. This is only the free videos. I'll go into the premium video shortly and talk about how to handle that. Now, that's not to say the DAX is definitely going to do that. You need to be very careful, very cautious in this kind of market. Don't jump in feet first. Let's just see how the market opens and then see if there are any opportunities. If we get extreme violent moves, you are better off just keep sitting on your hands and not doing anything. There should be at some stage opportunities. Now, whether it is Monday or later in the week, midweek, we won't know yet, which is why on Monday, for the normal, instead of Traders Roundtable, I'm going to do a full scale 60 minute presentation on how to handle extreme volatility, hot tips on what to do in volatile weeks and situations. Okay, now what I've chosen to open the video on this weekend is the Chinese index. The Chinese markets out there are the biggest bubble on the planet. It's had extreme government manipulation, and it created a humongous boom where 7, 8, 9, 10% GDP was the norm. This is clearly indicative of a market that a bubble that has burst. We are back to, in literally a very short space of time, in 2 weeks, 3 weeks in June, we have recovered back to where we were in March. So we took all this time to climb on this Chinese index, and that's a very favourite chart pattern of mine, and here we are just shooting down. Okay, so whilst everybody is focused on Greece, if you just look around the world, there were clearly indications even before Greece started getting rocky that things are not right in this market. I mean, for example, in the US, wherever you get heavy government intervention, the markets at some stage will always grab that back. Every bubble bursts, and one of the most important bubbles that is close to home is the UK housing market. If China is going to drop like this, I'm very, very fearful for the London housing market and housing markets across Europe, anywhere where there has been extreme price rises. Because at the moment the UK housing market has not been propped up by the normal buyers. It's been propped up by investors and speculators, and every single bubble bursts, and we have seen a huge leap in London house prices where professional people have really struggled, who traditionally be steadily climbing up the housing ladder, have really struggled just to get on the first rung. A friend of mine, his son is in one of the Europe's top law firms. He's a top graduate. He's 2-3 years into his career in a top European law firm, and the only way he could buy a flat was to hook up with a high-earning mate of his. I think that's absolutely crazy. The first flat I ever bought, I was actually still a student. Did it with my partner, who was on a modest income. And with my student grant and my partner's income, we bought a flat in what's now one of the South East London's hotspots. So a lot of concerns over this market. I'm not sitting here saying it's all doom and gloom, we're all done and dusted. This market's going to pop, it's going to be down here from now on. What I am saying to you is, the market does not like uncertainty, but there's a lot of uncertainty in this market at the moment, and we need to be prepared for it. So let's look at the euro. I was shorting the euro. I have to say I missed this big drop, which is crazy considering the sort of resistance level it came off. So shame on me for missing that. But what I was doing was I was getting short on these little moves into that daily 20-day moving average is a key indicator for me. And we spent the second half of the week under the daily 20 on the euro, and tests of that were getting sold, and got a nice little move down to 140 on Friday. So bear in mind what I just said, we're going to have to let these markets get open, see what they want to do, and then just, if you are able to get short at a good opportunity, a setup that you like, then like I said, I would suggest you might want to go at least half size, if not smaller, and just take it very easy. You're going to need bigger stops, hence the reason why you need to be smaller size. And then let's just see where we are. On a Monday, I will go through some setups and go through some preparation you can do to try and prepare for the rest of the week. Now, one of the biggest things that hangs over traders like me and yourself is, in a dire situation, a situation where there are grave concerns, i.e. lack of liquidity in Greece and a knock-on effect on euro, that could just turn around. If there's some sort of surprise announcement, that could just turn around and this could zip up. This could go back up to 115 for all I know. I could be sitting here at 7 o'clock tomorrow night and this chart showing 115. So expect the unexpected, be cautious, and join me on Monday night for very in-depth analysis and some key hot tips on how to handle this kind of volatility. Alright, so look after yourselves, and I will, at the end of this video, I will send you a link to that event for registration, and I look forward to seeing you then. Alright, enjoy what's left of your weekend, and bye for now.